Welcome all to the series where we would try to explain more about the Bharat Bond ETF, the upcoming issue. First, I would like to touch upon the basics of this Bharat Bond ETF program. It is a Government of India initiative which was envisaged by the Government of India 2 years back. And the key objective of this program was to enable the government-owned companies to come up with a borrowing program and add a new source of borrowing for them. The aim was to make borrowing easier for these entities, government-owned companies. The second objective was also to give easy access to a lot of retail investors into bond markets. Today, if a retail investor wants to invest in a bond market, it is very, you can say, a long process. Liquidity is on a lower side. Also, in most of these bonds, the minimum investment size is upwards of 10 lakh rupees. Uh, so this was the aim when Government of India thought about launching this ETF program. Last year in 2019, Government of India appointed Edelweiss Asset Manager as a lead asset manager to launch and manage Bharat Bond ETF program. Over the year of 2019, we spent a lot of time where we looked at various structures globally and to come up with a suitable product structure for Indian investors which suits their needs and their investment objectives. And that is where we came up with this structure of Bharat Bond ETF, which is today. And then we launched our first ETF program in December 2019, which saw huge success, and many investors invested in this program in this first issue and are reaping good benefits over the last 2-3 months. Now we have come up with a second issue of Bharat Bond ETF, which is set to launch in July 2020. And today we'll be spending some time to understand the basics about Bharat Bond ETF, what are the benefits, how the product structure is designed, and what is in for the investor in this ETF. So let me start with a basic question on what exactly an investor looks at when he's investing in a debt instrument. So there are four basic factors at which one looks at when investing in a debt instrument. One is, of course, higher safety, and all the more important looking at the last 1 or 2 years where there have been a lot of downgrades and certain amount of volatility in debt funds which have invested in these kind of bonds. The second is relatively stable returns and certain amount of predictability in returns. The third is, of course, lower tax, and with mutual funds, as we all know, it gives you indexation benefits. And fourth and most important one is liquidity, which means you should be able to redeem or get your money back as and when you need it. So these are the four basic principles on which we actually have built up the Bharat Bond ETF. And the way the product is designed, it gets you the best of all the worlds. So if you see these three instruments, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs, Bharat Bond ETF combines the best features or the most relevant features of all these three instruments into one ETF product. So let us see what are these features are. So in bonds, you get a predictable return because if you are investing in a bond at which is yielding at 8% and it's a 5-year bond, if you stay invested in this bond for say next 5 years, more or less you get that 8% returns unless there is a credit event or there is a default risk. So this kind of predictability of return is provided by bonds because it has a fixed maturity date, and because you are investing in it and staying invested till maturity, there is a lower interest rate risk. Interest rate risk means the fluctuation in bond prices because of the changes in interest rates. So if you are staying invested in a bond till its maturity, this risk gets negated, and you earn a return which is closer to the YTM of the yield of the bond at which you had entered. Now these three features are uh, combined into Bharat Bond ETF because it has a fixed maturity. It is a fixed maturity ETF. The second instrument, let's see mutual funds. In the mutual funds, the benefits are you get a diversified portfolio, it is professionally managed, and because of the indexation benefit, there is tax efficiency. Similarly, Bharat Bond ETF will be a diversified portfolio, investing in number of bonds issued by different PSU entities. It is professionally managed by Edelweiss Mutual Fund, and it is tax efficient because it gives you indexation benefit. So these features are combined in Bharat Bond ETF. And lastly, uh, because it is ETF, it provides you high liquidity. It is very low cost and very, very transparent because on a daily basis, you can see the NAV, you can see the complete portfolio on the website, you know what are the constituents of the index, and you know that the ETF will be investing only in these constituents and not outside this constituent. So there is certain amount of predictability of returns because of its fixed maturity structure, certain amount of diversification because it's a diversified portfolio, tax efficiency, and since it is listed on exchange, it provides you adequate liquidity with a lower cost. So these all features are combined in Bharat Bond ETF. Now let us see uh, what exactly is the structure of a Bharat Bond ETF. So as I mentioned, it invests in public sector companies. It's an exchange traded fund which invests your money in bonds of these public sector companies. Uh, it has a defined maturity. Uh, the fund will have a definite maturity. When we talk about, say, let's take example of April 2025 Bharat Bond ETF, it will mature in the month of April and the proceeds will be given back to you. And lastly, since it is an exchange traded fund, you can buy and sell units on the exchange. Let us see the investment strategy of Bharat Bond ETF. So Bharat Bond ETFs have, as I mentioned, have fixed maturity and they invest in bonds which are in line with this maturity. So let's take again an example of Bharat Bond ETF April 2025. Now this ETF will invest in bonds of these PSUs which are maturing in line with this maturity date. So they will mature maybe around April 2025 or maybe around March, but before the maturity date. And the ETF will hold these bonds till their maturity so that there is no trading in the bonds, there is no interest rate risk, and an investor who is investing and holding this entire bond ETF till their maturity will have fair amount of predictability of returns. Uh, since it is an ETF, it will track the investment results of a respective index, which is Nifty Bharat Bond Index. We'll come to how this index is, constructed. What are the rules? But broadly, the investment strategy will be to mirror or replicate the performance of this underlying indices. Now let's see how Bharat Bond ETF program works. सो इसमें निवेशक जब पैसे डालते हैं तो भारत बॉन्ड ईटीएफ ये पैसा पब्लिक सेक्टर कंपनी बॉन्ड्स में निवेश करता है और जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया इसकी एक फिक्स मैच्योरिटी होती है उस मैच्योरिटी पे जब ये बॉन्ड्स मैच्योर होंगे ये पैसा ईटीएफ में आएगा और उसके बाद all this money will be returned to the investor along with the returns in between this maturity period. So if you are investing in Bharat Bond 2031 for the next 10 and a half years, अगर आपको बीच में exit करना है and if you are investing in ETF, you can go on exchange and sell these units. If you want to buy more, you can go on exchange and buy them more. Easy liquidity is available on exchange for these bonds, for these bond ETFs, and which will enable you to easily invest or disinvest whenever you need. Now let's see how the index is constructed because Bharat Bond is an ETF and the index construction is very, very important. So Bharat Bond ETF will follow Nifty Bharat Bond Index. The methodology of the index is there are it's a three-step process. The first point is it will select all AAA rated bonds issued by public sector companies. The second level of filter would be all bonds within this AAA rated public sector companies universe, all bonds which are maturing within the 12 months of the index maturity. So let me give you an example. If uh, the investment is done in Bharat Bond ETF 2025, the index for that will be Nifty Bharat Bond Index 2025. Now, in this index, all bonds which are maturing starting from April 2024 till April 2025, which is 12 months preceding the maturity date of the index, yes, sabhi bonds will be part of this index, and that becomes the universe for the ETF to invest. Now, the weights to these bonds, which are now selected basis these two filters, will be assigned based on their outstanding amount. So, if a particular bond has an outstanding of 1,000 rupees, out of the total outstanding of say 10,000 rupees, the weight assigned for that particular bond will be 10%. So based on that, the weights are assigned. Maximum exposure to one single issuer is capped at 15%. And this process, which is called the rebalancing of the index, is done on a quarterly basis. The index will also hold these bonds till maturity, like it is there in the ETF. So this is how the index is constructed, very transparent. This ensures that any given point in time, the investments will always be in AAA rated bonds of public sector companies and within the closer maturity period of the ETF. So broadly, this is how the Bharat Bond ETF is structured, and this is how the index is structured. The ETF will follow the index. It will invest in constituents which are part of the index. Now coming to the recent or the upcoming launch, which is there in July 2020, uh, let's talk about the actual offerings which are there. So these are the two options currently which are coming up in the NFO. Uh, Bharat Bond ETF April 2025, which is around 5-year investment horizon ETF. And the second option will be Bharat Bond ETF April 2031. Since Bharat Bond follows the index and the portfolio is yet to be constructed, the underlying index yield is something which can give you a broad idea of what kind of returns one can generate. So currently, the 5-year Bharat Bond ETF index is yielding somewhere around 5.71%, and the long-term Bharat Bond Index, which is 2031 index, is yielding somewhere around 6.80%. Now, these are the yields which may keep changing based on market movements, and you can track the live index yields and the ETF yields on Bharat Bond ETF website, which is www.bharatbond.in. But broadly, if someone is investing and you look at the yields, this is the return one can expect over a longer period of time or till the maturity period. So currently, there are these two options. If someone is looking to invest in an ETF, uh, Bharat Bond ETF for next 5 years, he can choose the April 2025 option. If someone is looking for a longer period of investment horizon, he can choose April 2031 option. Now, this option is for people who have demat accounts and they can invest in ETF. What about people who don't have demat accounts? So we have a solution for that as well. They can invest in a fund of fund option. A fund of fund is a very simple feeder fund, a mutual fund structure feeder fund, which invests in the underlying bond ETF. So there are two FOF which we'll be launching. One is Bharat Bond FOF April 2025, which will just feed into the units of Bharat Bond ETF April 2025. And then the other one will be Bharat Bond FOF April 2031, which will feed in to units of Bharat Bond ETF April 2031. So for investors who don't want the hassle of ETF or don't have demat accounts, they can very well invest in a fund of fund option. Very simple to execute, just like you invest in a debt fund, debt mutual fund from any of the platforms like Grow. You can simply invest, redeem, or buy more units on the online platform using the FOF option. The returns in the FOF will be mirroring the underlying ETF. So over here also, if you see the underlying yield currently on a 5 year, as I mentioned for the index in the earlier option of ETF, will be similar for the Bharat Bond FOF options as well. Investors who have demat account, ETF is a good option. So let's say if you don't have a demat account, then FOF is an option which we have introduced, and that is a better solution for investors who do not have demat account or want a simple execution uh, to invest in Bharat Bond ETFs. So FOF are a simple vehicle which basically feeds into the ETF. FOF acts like a debt mutual fund, uh, investing in the underlying Bharat Bond ETF. So there will be two FOF. One is Bharat Bond FOF April 2025, which will be investing in uh, units of Bharat Bond ETF April 2025. And the other option will be for investors who want to invest for longer term, which is Bharat Bond FOF April 2031, which will be investing in the ETF units of Bharat Bond ETF April 2031. So in nutshell, FOF is just a wrapper. It will give you easy execution and easy investment avenue to invest in Bharat Bond ETF without having a demat account. FOF are also like ETF, they will have a fixed maturity. On maturity, the FOF will get matured and the proceeds will be given back to the investors. The returns will be in line with what the Bharat Bond ETF is generating. So if the underlying yield of the ETF is 5.71 in 2025 option, the returns in FOF will be closer or around this yield if you stay invested till maturity. Similarly, in 2031, the returns will be closer to the returns which are generated by the underlying ETF. So FOF is a simple option for investors to invest without demat accounts. So FOFs, as I said, would be easier option to invest in Bharat Bond ETF, and these FOF units during the NFO and even post NFO will be available on Grow platform for you to invest. Now let's see what are the benefits of Bharat Bond ETF. Uh, because it has a fixed maturity structure, there is a stability and fair amount of predictability of returns in this product. Since it invests only in AAA rated PSU bonds, there is higher amount of safety relative to any other funds which also invest in maybe lower rated bonds. Since it is ETF, it is transparent. On a daily basis, the portfolio is disclosed. The ETF gets traded on the exchange. The FOF option, since it is investing in the ETF, also becomes very, very transparent because you can see the portfolio on a daily basis. As I mentioned, while it has a fixed maturity, it doesn't have any lock-in period. Whether ETF or FOF, you can invest and exit it anytime before the maturity. It offers you indexation benefit and hence attracts lower tax, and it has a very low cost. The ETF expense ratio is around 0.0005%, which is virtually zero. The FOF expense ratio will be around 5 basis point, which is 0.05%, again, which is very, very low compared to any other debt fund which is offered. So as we saw, this is how Bharat Bond ETF is designed, and it benefits and it suits your investment need. We would urge you to invest in upcoming Bharat Bond ETF and FOF issuances. The NFO starts from 14 July and ends on 17 July. Currently, as interest rates are falling, this is a good time for someone to lock in at this higher yield levels and benefit by staying invested throughout this product till its maturity. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.